Weekly planning, one of my favorite things to do every week. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take each week, we're going to reverse engineer our OKRs, our goals for the quarter, into the week, right? And plan it out so it actually happens. And I'm going to walk you guys through the process. So, as you guys can see here, are our OKRs for the quarter. We already went through this. You're picking objectives and key results and the activities you're going to be doing every day in order to help you achieve those things, okay? And once you do that, we have to plan out the week, all right? So we're going to go right here. I'm going to show you this is one of the weeks that I did. All right, so every week you review your OKRs, making sure you're on the right track for the quarter. And what you do is you pick one thing. It says, what is the one thing I'm going to focus on this week that's going to push my key result forward? Okay. And you pick that one thing for every goal that you have, and then you say, okay, what's going to be my biggest obstacle that's going to get in the way of that, and how am I going to overcome it, and when am I going to do the activity or the specific thing action that I planned on by what time, and then you go schedule it. You do this for every objective you have for the week, so you're able to achieve the main thing that you want, right? So for example, if I want to, in the one of my objectives for my community is to love and serve others, right? So my main focus this week is very simple. It's to serve, right? Like I have to find something to serve. And I probably should have been a little bit more specific about it. But I said, what is the one thing that's going to stop me? It's going to be distractions. Okay. So what do I need to do to overcome it? I said minister, like a specific family to minister to, right? If instead of just saying, "Oh, I'm going to serve," I got to pick a specific family. All right, and I actually had that already planned on my Google Calendar. But anyway, that's what you do. Specifically, you go and you look every week. You look at your OKRs and you plan out. Okay, what else do I have left to get there? And what do I need to do specifically? Then you want to do must remember tasks. You don't want to have too many, right? So I didn't put too many lines or too much space. But what are the must remember tasks that you need to do? And then this one says, what's the number one most important thing that will move your goal forward if you can only do one thing? And mine was to love my wife, right? Love my wife and my family. Now, what we do here is this is where the tracking happens, right? This is where you're keeping track of your actions daily. And we're going to be going into that in your daily disciplines and when this comes into play, like when you come and start recording. But really, that's what we're doing right here is I'm just tracking how I'm doing with my undivided attention time. If I'm asking and praying with my wife, any notes, acts of kindness, things that I'm doing, screen time, ending work at a specific time, lifting and protein. I mean, you guys get the gist of it. All right. So that is what weekly planning is for. Weekly planning is for to plan the week, to keep track of your numbers during the week, and then it is to review how you did that week. Okay, you want to track. Did I track my numbers on my monthly tracker? Yes. Okay. What was the progress that was made on this key result on the key results of this week? Write it down. What is the primary thing slowing down or blocking your key results? What is it? And what can I do going forward to do better? And I also like to track specific one-time things that I need to do. Now, this might be overkill for a lot of you. Don't feel like you need to do all this, but this is mainly just to show you guys that you got to plan out your weeks. All right, you got to plan out your weeks, and these are specific things. I was trying to fast. I was trying to fast weekly because I met someone that did that, and I was like, oh, I'll try that. Very difficult. I'm not doing that anymore. As you can see, I didn't make it, but I tried it. It was good, but it's a difficult thing to do. Not for maybe for some people it's not, but for me it was. Read my journal. Did I do it? Yeah. So these are specific things that I'm trying to do. Like I try to draw a picture of Jesus once a week, just to because that drawing is good for you. Anyway, and then it's right here at the very bottom. It says, "Did you achieve your number one thing? And if you did, check it off. And what's the what does it say? Um, what is your excuse if you didn't accomplish that? Right. So anyway, this is quickly how I plan my week, just so you guys can see it. And let me show you where you get all the information and the flow of this. All right. So this is the flow of weekly planning and how this happens. All right, how you're able to do this. So you start with your OKR sheet. Okay, we're already there. You should already have your goals for the quarter. Then you go here and for weekly planning, you review your OKRs, and that's where you're supposed to come up with your specific activities you're trying to do that week. Okay, Every day you're updating this information, because in your daily disciplines, on your daily disciplines tracker on what you do every day, you're filling in how you're doing with your numbers. Okay, and as you can see, this is, you already know, this is the weekly tracker. I also just added in maybe about a month ago how I'm doing with attributes, Christ-like attributes, which I'm going to show you a little bit more in depth. But I every day I just go and I track how I did, and I score on these two sheets of paper. Okay, simple as that. And then at the very end of the week, okay, the very end of the week, you reflect and you say, how did I do? And you take these numbers and you put it on your monthly tracker. Now, you guys might be like, oh my gosh, this is insane. This is overkill. Guys, for me, if I want to improve something, I got to track it. I've tried my whole life to just, before I did this, just try and make things happen. And yeah, maybe you can make it happen. You can get lucky. But if you can measure, what you can measure improves. So I've learned how to take what I want, set a goal, measure it, track it, and see if it's working or not. All right. And I'm just able to do it with in the 5 categories of my life. Maybe some people can do a lot more. Maybe some people just don't think that's necessary. That's just how I wanted to do it, so I could make sure I'm spending my time wisely. All right. So going back to this, all it is you're going and we already have the OKRs if you've been following the lessons. You go in here with your weekly planner, you plan your week, you keep track of your numbers every day, and at the end of the week, you analyze how you did, and then you bring it over and you track it on your monthly, your weekly metrics. But this is for your quarter, right, to see. And then you can see how you're doing, if you're doing bad, if the key result is not affecting the objective, and if you need to change. I change mine all the time, because sometimes I'll be like, okay, if I want to lose weight, I need to lift more weights and I need to run. Then I see that my weight does not change for like 2 months, and I'm like, okay, that probably isn't it. Maybe it's I need to eat less, right? And then I change it to calories in, calories out, and then I lose a little bit of weight. And then it's just a constant like running experiments and testing them, all right? Um, and maybe some people don't need to run these experiments, and they already know how to. They're already dialed in everywhere in their life. But this is just what it's been like for me. Now, once you do all that, and you're able to go through your week and plan it, and then you record it, what do? Well, you plan again, right? And you just do this every week. And I promise you, if you do this, you're going to hit your goals, because you're going to see and you're going to be self-aware and know where you're at in your journey. Okay. So that's the flow. That might be confusing to read now, but hopefully you understand that the arrows are just pointing you where you get the information, where you put the information. Okay. Simple as that. So your turn. Go ahead. Go plan your week, everybody. Go start here. Get this information from your OKR 90-day, your quarterly sheet. Okay, put it in there. Track this information daily. Okay, and then at the end of the week, you're gonna go and you're gonna put this information, and you're gonna put it on your weekly data tracker. All right, that's going to keep track of your whole quarter. That's what the weekly planning is for. Hope this was helpful. If you got questions, let me know. This is, like I said again, I believe a skill set. I think this is something you learn how to do over time. Don't feel overwhelmed. Just start with one goal. Don't feel like you have to do all this. Maybe just plan one thing you're going to do this week, one activity, and track your results on one thing. Okay, if you want to again lose weight, how are you doing with your calories, right? How much food are you eating? How much dessert did you eat? And then at the end of the week, say, how did I do? As simple as that, guys. All right. So we'll see you on the next one. And the next lesson is my favorite. It's the daily disciplines. It's what are we going to do? What are we doing every day to come closer to Christ? What are we doing every day just to improve? Let's go. Let's go. I'll see you on the next one.